Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 657. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott with the new haircut. What's up, Scott?
Note to self, never try to eat a muffin while being introduced.
There you go. What's up from Hollywood there, Mr. Steampunk Star Raisin?
Of AmberStreet.com.
All right. What's up, Ray?
I'm as good as can be, but Scott's hair is looking fresh.
Okay, so I'm very ecstatic today after watching Game of Thrones. And you sure it's okay to talk about
Go
it?
ahead. Go ahead. It's not going to
You
bug me.
sure you're not bothered?
Fire away. Fire away.
Thank God! Thank God Jon Snow is back, baby! Wow!
I thought I felt a disturbance in the force.
So
It wasn't
excited.
your beard, Scott, so don't worry.
So excited. Episode 2, they bring him in at the end. I'm very excited. I knew that was going to happen. They cut his hair, which that's what he wanted.
That's where Scott got the idea from.
Cut Jon Snow's
That's
hair
where he got
and put
the
it in the
idea.
fire.
You know, considering that I've only seen the pilot episode of Game of Thrones, and I thought it was kind of boring, and I never saw another episode, the one positive thing I can say is Amelia Clark. Amelia Clark has some nice titties.
Oh, my God. All right. So,
Look at the era.
yeah, I know. It's a different era. All right. So, besides that, we also got Fear the Walking Dead, which was a lot better than it's been, which I'm very happy about that.
But the actors still look like they've got paint on their faces.
It's a lot more exciting. Yeah, the guy had blood on his face. Nick. It's more exciting. There's more characters coming in. So there's 3 episodes left, and then it goes on to a mid-season break, and then it comes back in August. So it's probably going to run to the end of May, take a break, come back in August, finish in October, and then the real Walking Dead. The Walking Dead comes on in October. So I'm happy about that. We heard some rumblings today in movie news that there is trouble in paradise with Zack Snyder and the DC Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
We have people dropping off like flies. The guy from The Flash dropped off, the director. There is a rumor that the Aquaman guy is leaving because I heard that Zack Snyder is trying to stick his 2 cents in to change Aquaman. And I'm hearing that DC is not really that happy with Zack Snyder because of Batman vs. Superman, and that they may even step in and interfere with the Justice League as they're making it. So looks like Zack Snyder might be having some issues.
Yeah, I saw that just before I went to work today, and I just found the story, and damn, I have to leave it.
DC needs to let him do Watchmen too, so he can stop messing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything else.
I'm not being rude. If they might not let him do Watchmen 2 if his reputation goes down the drain with DC.
He did a good job with Watchmen. That's the problem. He's trying to adapt the whole basis for Watchmen to a DC Superman, Batman, DC universe, and it doesn't work.
He also fired the cinematographer from Batman vs. Superman that was working on Justice League. He got rid of him. Now, I mean, stop blaming people. It's your fault.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're blaming the people and they're coming out yourself and saying it was all my fault. Right. I'm not going to get involved in doing this. Instead, he's not issuing a statement, and he's trying to finally turn on him.
And here's the thing: will DC step in while they're in mid-filming of Justice League and sacrifice that movie? Probably not.
I wouldn't blame them.
No, they would wait.
They'd probably let him finish and then goodbye, basically.
Why did the director from Flash leave? Because he did a pretty good job with Flash.
How do you know that he did a pretty good job if he never filmed the Flash movie?
Oh, I thought you were... Okay, I got confused. So
no, we're talking about
the TV series, not the
cinematic.
Oh,
we're talking about the DC Cinematic Universe.
Oh, okay.
Cinema. Yes.
That's the mistake one right there, was to have the TV universe separate from the cinematic universe. That's so confusing.
I know that. But anyway, the guy from the Flash movie took off, left.
I know. Sorry, Joel.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, I know I bring it up nearly every cast now with DC, but do you think that they might step in DC if Wonder Woman turns out to be a lot darker than they wanted it to be?
Wonder Woman's done. It's done.
Yeah,
for
Wonder Woman.
But when it comes out,
what are you gonna do, Ray?
And then put it this.
What are you gonna do with it, Ray? It's filmed. It's done. I mean, you can't.
I know, but when it comes out, I'm just saying. When it comes out,
well, Wonder Woman's not.
Don't. Like when there's critical responses for it. Do you think they might step in then and say, "We don't want you to film Justice League"?
But they've been filming, right? They've been filming Justice League. They can't stop filming Justice League. They would lose. They already put hundreds of millions of dollars into Justice League. When Batman versus Superman's out, they're filming it already. So it can't. Wonder Woman, first of all, by the time Wonder Woman comes out, they'll be done filming Justice League. Justice League's going to be finished soon, probably within a month or so.
Well, Wonder Woman has a different director than Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It may not have the same dark, gritty feel. I remember looking her up. I can't remember. It's a woman director. Wonder Woman, 2017.
So, that's the whole thing. I mean, regardless, if they're going to do anything with Zack Snyder, it's going to be after the finished filming of Justice League.
Yeah, so they came in beforehand and tried to. It'd been all right, but they're already in the midst of filming, and that would cost them big money to replace.
Of course.
Now.
Somebody named Patty Jenkins is the director of Wonder Woman 2017.
Right, and we got Jeremy Irons is returning for Justice League. He played Alfred, so he's back in there.
One interesting thing to note: Patty Jenkins is famous for directing Monster.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. I just want to let everybody know that Captain America: Civil War so far has in over $200 million overseas.
This coming Monday or Tuesday, I'll be seeing it because I gotta work.
Well, it's not released until Friday, though.
I know.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
so
I'm gonna have to wait till Monday or Tuesday because
following.
I'm gonna go see it on an $8 Tuesday because I can't afford a $20 movie ticket.
Right.
I'm gonna go to my Eaton 6 and catch for 4, and then another 10 from my Biggie Pop and my Biggie candy bars.
Or better yet, I'll see if it's on Footlocker.
Batman versus Superman this week has finished off worldwide $862 million. It's still $325 million domestically, so it's just about done. The Boss is still doing better than it. Every week. So, and then we have other news. We have
your land to see if the Boss is there yet.
Yeah. We also have that Ben Affleck, supposedly, I guess, Zack Snyder's influence over the Batman movie will be zero because supposedly Ben Affleck has complete control over it.
Yes!
The writing, directing, the story, everything. And supposedly there's going to be many villains in it.
Brand him good, Affleck. That would be funny if they made a parody of Zack Snyder's name in the Batman movie.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, the solo Batman movie. It might not have just one or two villains. In fact, it may have a whole bunch more than that. Affleck stars, directs, and is co-writing the film with DC's Jeff Johns, which will form a part of the DC extended universe that began with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel and continue with Batman vs. Superman. We introduced Affleck's older take. Rumors so far suggest that the film will follow the Under the Red Hood story.
Oh, nice.
Dead Robin returns from the grave.
Yes.
Something hinted at in Dawn as well. Now, though, movie's death are reporting saying that isn't the case. Rather, their sources say many, if not most, of the members of Batman's Rogue Gallery will be making appearances in the film. It's going to be crammed with Bat villains, which means that just about every major bad guy you've ever wanted to see in a movie will be in this movie. According to the sources, Affleck and Jeff Johns, who has been working with him on the film, want to make the definitive Batman film. They want to tell the ultimate Batman story, and to do so, they're going to bring in the big guns. They're going to have a big, sprawling Bat universe already in place.
So who could be Catwoman this time around? That's what's crossing my mind.
Yeah. So I don't know, but they do.
Kim Kardashian would play a good Catwoman.
No.
Now we want the bimbo.
More chance on Melissa McCarthy than Kim Kardashian.
I don't know if this stuff works where he's all of a sudden going to just put in like 10 villains.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't really work when they
in
do
this
that
case. Two's enough. We need I'm sorry, and if this is going to be the first movie, there needs to be 2 villains. You got your primary, and then sort of got a secondary. And if you want to hint upon the others, fine, but don't.
That's not going to be the case, though. There's going to be.
Well, that was the criticism with Spider-Man 3, was they thought 3 villains was too much.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that they're going to have many villains in the movie, not just 2 or 3. So I don't know if they're going to flash back into the past and fighting it or what, but to me, this is going to be a cluster muck. I think it's going to be a bigger mistake having it go that direction. I know Affleck wants to have it with his Batman movies better than every other Batman movie, but that's not necessarily.
Well, like I said, they need 2 They need 2 villains. One who's the main, one who's a secondary, and then if you want to hint upon past ones like who he's fought, like one of you guys said about how flashback, then fine. But it, like Steampunk said, number 3, it packed on the villains, and that's what pretty much killed it.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard to outdo The Dark Knight, 2005 Dark Knight. That's like the now classic, and it's I don't see how you're going to outdo Dark Knight. It's kind of hard. It's
now if they're going to have Bane,
to top that.
Have him as either in the second movie or third movie, but don't have him in this first movie. If you want to talk about the experiment that brought Bane to. I
think according to this universe that happened already, though. I think that he's 20 years Batman already, so I think all that stuff happened.
Well, what villains would you like to see then?
The Riddler.
Catwoman. We'd love to see
a new Penguin.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze, but a different Mr. Freeze, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to see. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know what would work, but I just don't want this to be a cluster muck. I just, you know, why can't you do multiple Ben Affleck movies? Is it that he's only contracted to one movie and he thinks he's not going to be Batman after that?
Unless what they're doing is they're filming 2 movies at the same time. Right. Okay. I thought maybe they're doing this.
No, just going to be one now.
Same time, and that way they could separate them.
All right, we'll have to see, but the news is evolving every day about Zack Snyder. So I don't know if DC. Well, I don't know if they would do that while they're filming Justice League unless they scrap it.
No, they wouldn't. They're too far into production.
Yeah.
They would have had to come in maybe in pre-production and then say.
They may alter the script where it's not a 2-parter anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, historically, it's possible. I mean, you look at Superman 2, they fired the director midway through the production.
I know, that is possible.
Yeah.
So, and Superman 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Well, I mean, there's 2 versions of it, too. I don't know if you saw the second, because there's the original director, his cut of the original version of Superman 2, the way he envisioned it, and then there's the I can't remember the names. I'm bad with the names.
Donner cut.
Donner, yeah.
The Donner cut I thought was in some ways better.
Right. And they had Lois find out he was Superman differently too, because initially she was supposed to have fallen out of a window to try to figure him out. Where they had the lame old, he trips, glasses fall off, and go, "Oh, shockers!"
Yeah.
I mean, and that could happen. I mean, you know, you could, because Batman vs. Superman bombed so badly and they lost so much money, they could fire him mid-production and just bring in a new director, and then they'll maybe use scraps of his material.
Or have the assistant producer take over and have somebody from
the director.
Yeah, an assistant director come in, and then have somebody from DC as their wingman.
Yeah. And if somebody are ever going to use Jesse Eisenberg again, use him as the Riddler or something.
Oh God. Then use him as Riddler because that's what everybody.
He's filming Zombieland too, so I'm not worried about.
I know, but when I saw the movie, I couldn't help but laugh because he's a comedy actor, isn't he? He's like comedy relief.
He does serious stuff. He's doing Woody Allen film. I mean,
there's never been a perfect Lex Luthor in movies. I mean, Gene Hackman was probably the closest to perfect, but
I liked Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey. I loved them.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey did a good job as Lex Luthor, and he was at least willing to shave his head, unlike Gene Hackman. But the problem with Superman Returns wasn't Kevin Spacey; it was just the story sucked. I
actually was talking about that the other day, and I think that the story was fantastic. They should have just added a villain to the mix, maybe Brainiac or something, because I do feel that it does capture the Superman style of Christopher Reeve and also the Gene Hackman style of Lex Luthor, and I really felt that it had the emotions behind it. It had the feel of Superman, the music, everything. It just was missing a villain, a key villain to add to it. I really felt that Lex Luthor should have had, like, the moment that Superman went on the thing and he found that he was human, they should have threw a villain into the mix and just changed the plot a little bit.
And they should have steered clear to him being like Mr. Super Stalker too. To me, that's what really spoiled half the reason why the movie was spoiled, because every time he turns around, it's like, "Ooh, hi Lois, you don't see me, but I can see you."
Wow. That's creepy.
So I did like Superman Returns a lot better than Batman v Superman.
And the fact that they used his outfit in the and the Smallville at the end. That was his outfit too.
Okay.
I would agree that Superman Returns was a better film than Batman versus Superman.
Oh,
you have to think that Superman Returns was basically, it wasn't technically a reboot. It was technically a sequel to Superman 3. I mean, Superman
2. It was 2.
Superman 2. It just like was retcon. Hey, what's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up?
How was the wrestling event?
It was pretty good. The last match kind of ended kind of badly, but it was a good show. It was not bad. Well, pretty scary moment at the beginning though. Saw a wrestler almost break his neck during the match. They had to stop the match early.
Oh my God!
He landed on his backwards or forward?
No, he one of the guys. It was a tag match. It was a new tag team too. Guy threw him and he hit the ropes and then he rebounded and his neck got caught between the rope, the bottom and the ring, and it snapped his head back and forth and then he landed on the ground. And luckily he's only got a concussion, but they said it could have been a lot worse than it was. So
they stopped the match and everybody helped him out.
They had to stop the match, yeah, and you knew because the ref did the injured symbol. And they were keeping the camera off the guy, and it was horrible too because I thought he was selling it, but then he didn't blink for like 30 seconds, and then he started like twitching, and then the ref ran over. He was like, "You got to stop the match! You got to stop the match!" And they kept the camera off him, and everything, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!
Oh my God!
We have another Owen Hart incident here."
Oh my God!
We don't need another.
No, that'll be good.
Oh, what's the wrestler?
Enzo Amore.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I'm with him.
So what's his status now?
He's okay. They determined he doesn't have. There was nothing wrong with his neck, but he's got a pretty bad concussion though.
All right, so you're gonna have to sit out for at least a match or two.
You gotta watch
him.
He's
gonna have to sit out for like a couple of months because they don't.
They don't fool around.
They don't screw around with concussions anymore. Ever since what happened with Benoit, they don't screw around with concussions. Rightfully so, because concussions are a lot worse than I think a lot of people give them credit for.
Yeah, because they were talking about that in football too. That the first concussion you don't know about, second concussion can do a lot greater damage. So,
well, I had a minor concussion a little while ago, and it was bad. I was like, I don't know how these guys have worse grade concussions than this, and they're able to wrestle. I have no idea. I don't.
Right. We were touching upon a little bit about the Zack Snyder thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ben Affleck has 100%
banned him pretty much.
Yeah, he has 100% control.
Well, let Chris elaborate on that.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, I've heard probably what you guys were talking about, that he's starting to lose a lot of control.
Yeah.
With those movies, which, in my opinion, after what happened with Batman vs Superman, is probably right for Warner Bros. To be like, yeah. I don't know.
If you're gonna I'm hearing they're gonna scrap Aquaman. If that is true, then put a Man of Steel in its place or something.
Yeah, I think maybe Man of Steel with a new director could be pretty good.
Now, also, there's a rumor that Ben Affleck is coming out and saying there's going to be many Batman villains in the movie. I don't know if that's a good idea. Do you feel that way?
Yes, I do.
Many.
Because if they're going to do the storyline I think they're going to do, they need to have more than one villain.
Okay. All right.
Hands down.
So he is going to do the ultimate Batman movie where just tons of villains.
I think he's going to do the Under the Red Hood storyline.
Right.
I really do. And I think if you're going to do that, you need to have multiple villains.
Right. All right. Now, also, we were talking about the box office for Civil War. It's at $200 million overseas. Not even released here yet. I honestly feel that it's going to be phenomenal when it does get released over here, because we're going to have the domestic numbers as well as the second week's worth of foreign markets. So, I mean, it could be like 600 million, this weekend coming up.
Have you guys seen these silly mini episodes that they released on the internet, like with Tony Stark going to the Eiffel Tower?
I saw the Civil War things with about the donut and about him working out, and then I saw about Thor.
Well, there's another one with it was for some reason only released on Marvel France page, but it's subtitled in French, but the video's in English. I don't know if it's a scene from Civil War or just a tied-in.
No, it's just a thing he just filmed.
It shows Tony Stark going to the Eiffel Tower, playing with the lights of the Eiffel Tower. And he's like, and then the Eiffel Tower turns into the gold, crimson gold and red, like the Iron Man suit. And he's like, "Oh, Team Iron Man, # Team Iron Man."
Right.
And the fact that Tony Stark is in Iron Man's going to be in the Spider-Man movie, and you can already look up on the IMDb page. Robert Downey Jr. Oh, okay. Well,
we reported that a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, but I think it's an interesting concept because that means that Team Iron Man's going to win.
No, it doesn't. It just means that they have that relationship with Spider-Man and Iron Man from the comics, so it's going to.
Well, I mean, but he survives to.
Well, they all supposedly survive.
Well, there's
really not a clear villain inside the.
It's just there's no. I don't think there's going to be a winner. I think it's just going to be a villain.
It's not going to be one-sided like Batman, Superman.
I think there's going to be a villain that interferes, and then it's just going to be they're going to be back to the Avengers. That's it.
Well, I mean, there's a rumor that Captain America might die.
No, he can't die because he's got to be in Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Oh, he is.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So
they're going to diverge it from the comic then.
Well, somewhat, yeah.
Because in the Civil War comic, he dies. That's the end.
Yeah, but in the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, that took place before Civil War in the comics.
Yeah.
So now it's reversed, where it's taking place after Civil War.
Okay.
So Thanos brings everybody back to life after he kills them. So even if Captain America does die, Thanos would probably bring him back to life.
Well, yeah, because Thanos, what they could do is because Thanos has, I don't know if he's going to have this in the film, but in the comics, Thanos has a psychological disorder where he has to give his opponents a chance to win. So one of them could be like, bring back our leader. Yeah, one of them could be like, bring back our leader, and he'll be like, okay.
Right.
We'll just do it.
Now, I heard this rumor, okay, because I heard that, and guys, don't interrupt for a second, I just want to have to say what I have to say first. I heard this rumor that there is a possibility that Deadpool will appear in Infinity War. I'm also hearing that there's somewhat of a scene, possibly it might be him with Thanos, where he says something to what effects, do you understand English or something? And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, fuck you, Thanos. And then, like, Thanos, like, blasts him, like, the Wolverine, like, where, you know how Wolverine got blasted and he was all, like, shredded into, like, and then the crystal brought him back to life, but he was all, like, ashes and his, like, a skeleton was, like, out or whatever. Like, supposedly he may, like, say something crazy like that, and they'll allow it for him to curse, like, once or something, and then he just, like, kills him, and then I guess he would be brought back. But that would be pretty hysterical if he just says something like that, or suck my chongas or something or whatever, and then Thanos just annihilates him. I would piss myself if that happened.
There was a weird storyline. I think it would make for a good movie that was in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic. I never did read it, but I would love to read it where Wolverine turns into a robot in the future. Like the only thing he dies technically, but only his adamantium skeleton is left, and his adamantium skeleton becomes a robot. I'm not kidding. This was in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic, but it's like hundreds of years in the future.
Right.
You know, he's like an undead Wolverine robot. I don't know.
Well, we've all got our hobbies.
Yeah, I for one want Deadpool in Infinity War. That'd be hysterical.
I'd want him in more than one scene because I don't know. It would be nice to see him.
I would love to see him in it.
I would love to see an undead Wolverine robot in Infinity War. Anyway.
Yeah, well, Wolverine's not going to appear, but
you could just imagine him saying that to Thanos, and then everyone would be like, with Captain America, they're going, language!
Yeah, he's only going to be able to say one curse, and that's it.
Yeah.
But there's also other news today about Hannibal TV series returning in a couple of years. I don't know if anybody is interested in that.
I got maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and
I had no interest in that.
Right.
I didn't even know it got canceled. I figured as much. Hadn't heard much about it.
Yeah. Now, Tom Hiddleston also had did a backtrack because supposedly he got a nice contract to be Loki a few more times, probably Infinity War Part 1 and 2. Right?
Money talks.
Thor 4 or something, I don't know. But basically, he'll be around for a little bit too. Loki. Yeah.
Done it, though. Money talks, though, doesn't
it? I think things got shaky when they cut him from Avengers Age of Ultron, and they put Idris Elba in there, the doorman of Asgard. And then I was kind of like effed up. So like hopefully they're remedying that and fixing it. And we know he's in Thor Ragnarok. Chris, you have any stories?
Not really. There was something I got to share with you off screen though, because I think you'll find it pretty funny.
Okay, good. All right. So on that note, guys.
I want to say one last thing.
Okay, well, let me just say what I was going to say, and then you can go. I'm glad again that Jon Snow is back to the land of the living. That's awesome. So I'm very happy with the Game of Thrones episode, and Aya is going to be getting her sight back. I'm happy about that, and I'm also happy that Fear the Walking Dead is not boring. So that's cool. So I got to watch Penny Dreadful tomorrow night. Go ahead, Steampunk.
What I talked about in the previous thing, I finally uploaded my full interview with Tom Slater, and he talks about why he's suing his son. It was about a half hour long, so it took a long time to upload, but it's on my YouTube channel if you guys are curious. You can hear it from Tom Slater's point of view.
Very good. Anybody else have anything?
Nada.
All right, so Penny Dreadful, I'll talk about that tomorrow. We also got tomorrow Bates Motel and Damien, which if you didn't see Damien, guys, check out Damien. It's a great show. And other than that, I believe that's it for now. So, all right, guys, take care. Bye for now.